Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel on this lovely Monday evening and the last day of March. Yeah, already the time has gone. That is a quarter. Wow, that's actually the first time I realised that that's a quarter of 2025 already gone. Honestly, nowadays I find I'm living in the present to the point where with all these schedules and all these video uploads I've got to get up, especially doing daily uploads, I've never lived so much in the present ever. As in, it feels so quick that the first quarter of this year is gone, but at the same time, it feels like an absolute lifetime. And I think the podcast hasn't helped that fact. The fact how I'm now currently this Friday about to record because we're now 2 weeks ahead. Because we've doubled up on them on Friday. So I'm about to record my last podcast of the first season this Friday. And I just feel like with those 15 weeks, 15, 14, 15 weeks, it's just completely it's gone forever. It's honestly, I feel like it's just I've been in this vacuum of time for the last 3 months, and I've realised that honestly I've just been working so hard in the last sort of 12 to 16 weeks particularly, that like I've it's which yeah no yeah that's right, that timeline's right, that I've stopped really watching YouTube, and I've really not been able to keep up on it. My watch later playlist is now 600 videos deep, um, and I think I'm going to have to start actually unsubscribing to things and deleting videos out of that watch later playlist because I don't think I have the time anymore. And I can now say that ever since I stopped covering films on the podcast, with Brave New World and then like teasing that The Monkey and The Last Showgirl were to come, I did watch those two in the cinema. And The Last Showgirl is currently, at the time of recording, the last film I saw in cinemas. So that was a while ago now. That was the 28th of Feb. I saw that on the dot, and I have not seen a film since. The entire of this month, I've not seen a damn one. Yeah, it's not been too great, to be honest. I'm going on a massive tangent here to kind of avoid the main point, but what I'm saying is that I'm giving a lot to this, and it's I'm noticing that things are changing in a sense, and tensions are rising, and that kind of leads me on to my point today, which is sort of something that I definitely want to capitalize on, since I'm feeling it. And I also feel that it'd probably be a bit of help to some people who maybe need a bit of a confidence boost. It's about boundaries, particularly. Relationships is not really something I'm going to go massively into in this discussion, but at least for a minute or two, I want to talk about this, in the sense of boundaries in work environment have been a big thing for me lately. In terms of knowing when to say no and when to say yes, and then also when to pursue things and when to drop them, and when to more so, particularly, to move on when prospects aren't particularly bright and you kind of barking up the wrong tree, and you know that you need to put your efforts elsewhere. I'm finding that is very, very much the case right now in my life, in the sense of boundaries are a big problem to me work wise. I'm having to very much take the iron fist to a lot of these things with crew decisions behind closed doors, and they are tough decisions, and they are ones that kind of keep the ship in check, and it's a hard thing to do, because I'm very naturally quite conflict averse, and I'm not a fan of it at all. I'm very much a diplomat, and I deal with things not even really in a group setting. I like to have one-on-one discussions with people and deal and work things out. I'm very much finding right now that it's becoming a very difficult task to balance um, all of the problems going on, because it is very much a bit of a cram right now to try and get 2026 development underway, even though we development has begun, but to really get the ball rolling and start potentially thinking about production, even though 2025 production is nearing its closing stages, but we still have a ways to go with 2025. So juggling all of that at the same time is a real difficult task. But I'm getting there and I'm figuring it out. And boundaries is a big part of it, because I'm needing to very much say no to people, say yes to others, and make some pretty harsh calls, which is something that is not particularly easy, I found. And the hard calls creatively, making them behind closed doors, is it's simple. I'm a pretty good problem solver these days, but it's applying that and saying it to the people that need to hear it, and saying it in a certain way at which they need to hear it. That's what's difficult. It's about managing a lot of people without letting the cracks show. and particularly the infrastructure within. And it's not the easiest thing to do, leading, really. And I'm realizing as I'm getting older that to lead something means a lot more than it did when you were younger. Because if you're a good leader, you feel a constant burden of responsibility to do right by not just what you're doing but by your team members. And that is very much how I'm feeling right now, which maybe to a lesser extent I felt when I was a bit younger, which is I thought I'd just like to take charge on things, and I just assumed I had the best ideas. I don't believe I have the best ideas these days. I think I have very solid ideas, but I don't think I've got the best ideas out there. What I do think I have is some of the most prominent and solid practices, for example, at university. So the way of driving forward and making sure that things happen. I'm starting to garner a bit of reputation to myself as the guy who makes things happen. But that effort and that drive to get things done with a big team of people around you, it's not always the easiest thing to do. So yeah, I'm getting there and I'm trying, but I would say if there's any takeaway from this today, it would be that making the harsh calls, it's about who you want to be, and if you want to be a leader, sometimes you've got to make decisions that people won't like you for. And if you think it's the right by the project and right by the content of which you're putting together, and whatever field that may be, maybe it's for the best. And I think in professional life, I'm starting to realize that it can't always just be sunshine and rainbows. There's got to be harsh calls made, because in that world, things aren't very kind, and it's about product and distribution. No matter what the well intention is, at the end of the day, I'm making content for and currently right now, again, we ain't getting a dime for that, none of us. But what we're making right now is at the end of the day, it is still content production, and to deliver the best content production for you guys, particularly over on the main channel, hard cuts and hard choices have to sometimes be made. In some of them, no one will ever know that it was ever made, but it's completely hush. So yeah, there's a hard line to draw sometimes, and you just got to have the confidence to do it. But if there's any encouragement that I hope today would give you, it's that the harsh call is okay to make. Don't blame yourself for it. If you know you're doing the right thing for the product, and you're doing it in a respectful way to the people around you, the harsh call is the right thing to make in a professional capacity and in a professional environment. Don't ever feel ashamed of it, because deep down, if you really care about what it is you're doing or making or whatever, it's, deep down it's the right thing to do. Right, that will do it for today then. Be kind, do your best, and always remember, you are enough.